Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight for our Village of Alsip board meeting. Today is February 3rd, 2025, and we're going to call this meeting in order at 7:32 p.m. Can you call the roll, please?
Trustee Dalzell?
Here.
Trustee Juarez Mendoza is absent. Trustee McLaughlin? Here. Trustee Murphy?
Here.
Trustee Navas-Barza? Here. Trustee Peretta?
Here.
Mayor Ryan?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, officers' reports, starting with mine. First, I just want to inform the village that about a month or so ago, I was appointed to 3 committees on with the Illinois Municipal League, and certainly I'll share what I can for participating in these committees. The first is the Public Work and Transportation. Next is the Revenue and Taxation Committee, and the last one is the General Governance Committee. So, look, almost all these meetings are Zoom meetings for participation, and there's maybe 2 in-person ones. One's at the IML conference downtown that we have the annual, that happens every year. And I think there might be one out in Springfield, too, late in the season. But this won't take away any time from the village. And again, these are just Zoom meetings to participate in. So, you know, I was going to share with everybody just a couple of the bills that they're tracking with the IML right now down in Springfield. There's nothing short about it, but I'll just share with you the House Bill 1647 amends the Civil Service in Cities Division of Board of Fire and Police Commission Division of the Illinois Municipal Code. Basically what they're saying is they want to expand the definition of a firefighter to include persons appointed to the fire department or fire protection district or employed by a state university or a unit of local government or emergency medical services system and sworn or commissioned or employed to perform firefighter duties, whether they be a paramedic, emergency medical technician basic, or an EMT intermediate or advanced medical technician duties, or both. So basically what they're saying is rather than persons appointed to the fire department or fire protection district or employed by the state, university, or sworn or commissioned to perform firefighter duties, paramedic duties, or both. Chief, I guess, are you familiar with all this right now?
No, we're just trying to look at all the bills that are coming up right now. So we have our meeting this Thursday. We have a legislative meeting to see what's up there.
Because it seems like they wanted to, our village is solid, but it seems like they want to include like contractors now too?
Yeah, contract firefighters and medics. I think what it's what they're looking at doing at this point, because they're not part of any other organization, because they're all private. Well, contractors are private businesses,
right? And
for-profit businesses.
Yeah, obviously when you see so many titles and something like this, it gets a little bit diluted and stuff then too. So, okay. And then there's a few others, but I'll just tell you. And the other one too is that would not, well, it could affect us certainly. It's House Bill 1572, which was this amends the Open Meetings Act, provides that except as otherwise provided in the Act or any other Illinois statute, rather than except as otherwise provided in the Act, a quorum of members of the public body must be physically present at the location of an open meeting or present by video or audio conference at the open meeting. Now members must be physically present at the meeting. Provides that a member is present by video or audio conference at an open meeting if the member can hear and be heard by other members of the public body, of the body who are participating in the meeting. Specifies that if a member wishes to attend a meeting by video or audio conference, the member must notify the clerk of the public body before the meeting begins, unless providing such notice is impractical, and repeals existing provisions concerning the participation of the public body members in open meetings by video conference or other means. And certainly they support that, but Joe, are you familiar with that much at all? Yeah. So it's pretty much status quo, what we're doing right now, right? You have to have a body present.
No. What they're trying to do is you'll count towards the quorum even if you're not in the room.
Exactly. Okay. I mean, I thought we were kind of doing that already, but we
You
don't.
You have to have a majority. You have to have the quorum here,
Right.
and then the rest of the people can be online.
Gotcha. Okay.
Whereas now you could.
Now it's both, right? Or it was both. Exactly. Okay. That's all. I just wanted to bring shed a little light on that, a couple of bills. You folks, I'm sure everybody gets many of these messages from the IML all the time yet, too, so. Next, we had the clerk's report. Clerk Harding.
Thank you, Mayor. I have the approval of the January 20th, 2025 board meeting minutes, presentation, and approval of the January 27th, 2025 committee meeting minutes, and presentation and approval of the December 2024 motor fuel tax allotment in the amount of $71,583.32. And that is all I had, Mayor.
All right, thank you. We have Joe Kankar with us tonight, attorney. Joe, you have a report?
I have nothing, Your Honor.
Okay. No problem. Thank you. Engineers report, Jeff Hagan.
Yep. Thank you, Mayor. Structured Solutions and Dig Tech are going to be working in town this week on the manhole rehabilitation. So the weather's cooperating, so they're going to be out working in generally like the Davis Estates area. We've also been working on closing out grants. So we have the 2 DCEO grants closed out that we had received from last year. One was for resurfacing and another was for ADA sidewalk improvements. And we're also working on reimbursements. We had the IDOT that Rebuild Illinois, the $1 million. We spent part of it 2 years ago, and we're closing out the second part that we had done last year as well. And we have the ARPA as well that we're working on with Cook County.
Okay. And then we can talk tomorrow, Jeff. Did you see my note about what we want to apply for with Invest in Cook?
Yep. Yes, Mike and I have been actually talking
Okay.
about that for the last couple of weeks, so we can catch up on.
Good. Yeah, if we can talk next couple of days, and certainly I want to participate in that too, and what we can do to. And that's always been a good grant for us as well, yet too. So it seems like every other year we get okayed on that. We might be due. I don't know if did we get one last year? We did. I mean, it's kind of okay. All right, we'll keep fingers crossed on how's that. You know. Very good. Thanks, guys.
Yep. Thank you.
Did anyone in the audience wish to address the board tonight under public forum? Nobody? Then we'll move on to our standing committee reports. We'll start with Finance and IT. Trustee McLaurin.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I have a request for approval of a list of payroll dated January 24th of 2025, totaling $512,465.18. Next, I have a request for approval of a list of accounts payable dated February 3rd of 2025. From the recap, General Fund, $786,770.57. Road and Bridge, $101,866.30. MFT, $22,014.46. Pulaski TIF, $125 even. Water and Sewer, $35,514.54. Sanitary Sewers, $10,391.10. Heritage Complexes, $127,861.06, for a grand total all funds of $1,084,543.03. And then finally, I have a request for approval of a lease agreement and service agreement with Proven IT for 2 copiers/printers, leased for a total of 60 months, and a 36-month service agreement for all existing copier printers throughout the Village of Alsip offices. And that's the results from the bid opening last week after Brian went through everything, and that's the recommendation.
Exactly. Okay. Thank you. Next, we had the Fire Committee report. Trustee Murphy.
Thank you, Mayor. I have the presentation and approval of the Fire Department 2024 annual report. And that's all I have, sir.
All right. Thank you. Give me 1 second. Just want to look at something here real quick. problem. Thank you. Good report, too, Chief. Thank you. I was just going, brushing back through this real quick. I thought I had noted, and I did not. Next, we had the Police and Traffic Safety Report. Trustee Dalzell.
The approval of an ordinance amending Chapter 16, Police, Article 4, Police Department, Section 16-58, houses within the department created of the Municipal Code of the Village of Alsip, and then contingent upon approval of the above manpower ordinance, I'm requesting the following ranks to be filled at the Monday, February 24th committee meeting. One appointed position of Deputy Chief, one appointed position for Lieutenant, and 2 tested Police and Fire Commission positions of Sergeant. Chief, you want to, anything further?
No, as I've explained through the past several years, we just have a lot of attrition taking place in the police department, and it's going to continue through 2027. A lot of these positions take about, I would say, anywhere from 12 to 18 months to kind of get a good grasp of your knowledge base and where we're going. So obviously there's a lot of positions to be filled, and we're going to go ahead and start working on getting people ready for those positions. So
Excellent. That's all I have, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Chief Szynski, I wanted to go back real quick and just ask you, is there anything you wanted to highlight in your annual report, anything you wanted to talk about?
No, it's pretty all-inclusive of what happens throughout the whole year. The only thing I'm really not sure, we actually ran 200 calls less last year than the previous year. I'm not sure why. I think it's a fluke. Our pace right now is, based on this month, is about 4,100 calls. So we had a few slow days last year that's kind of, I think, contributed to that. So.
Yeah, I was just looking here. So we had roughly 21 structure fires, 19 vehicle fires, and grass and so forth, rubbish and whatnot, like 21 fires there. And overall, you had, as you said, 3,700 calls for service last year, 3,737 actually to be exact. And like you said, that's 200 less than the year before. But obviously, EMS is always
Right.
all the time.
And we cut back on some of our auto wait for fire alarms, so we stepped back a little bit further than the previous year. So that might account for about 100 of them calls. So now any auto wait that we do is for either a possible or a bona fide structure fire. Before we were going to Pale Sites and Crestwood for some of their target hazards. But we stopped that actually about a year ago, so that could contribute to about 100 of them calls.
Chief, and just to share with the board, too, I told the chief what a great job I saw last week down the street from my own house. Unfortunately, one of the neighbors was in full cardiac arrest, and you guys empty out both houses for that all the time. And, you know, it's wonderful to see all the men out there working to do what they can to save somebody's life out there. Great job, Chief.
Thank you.
So, next we have the Public Work and Boat Launch Report Committee.
Nothing for tonight, sir.
Okay, thank you. Next, Sewer and Water Report, Trustee Navas-Barza.
Thank you. I have requests for the approval of the December 2024 Brycer Monthly Activity Report. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. We have the, next we have the Building and Health Report, Trustee Prada.
Thank you, Mayor. No report this evening.
Okay. Thank you. Next, Human Resource and Insurance, Trustee Murphy.
Thank you, Mayor. No report tonight.
We'll go to Special Committee Reports, starting with Economic Development, Trustee Navas-Barza.
Thank you. No report.
Okay. Thank you. Village Properties, Trustee McGlohorn.
No report this evening, Mayor.
Okay. Thank you. Next, we'll go to Ordinance Legislation, Trustee Prada.
Thank you, Mayor. No report this evening.
Okay. Planning and Zoning and Licenses Committee.
Thank you. I have a request for approval of a list of licenses dated January 13th of 2025 through January 24th of 2025, and that's all I have this evening.
Okay, thank you. Did anyone have any presentations, petitions, or communications they wanted to share? None? Then can I ask for, did anyone want to remove anything from the consent agenda? None? Then can I get a motion to establish the consent agenda?
Motion?
Second.
Roll call number 1 to establish consent agenda, trustee Dalzell.
Yes.
Trustee Juarez Mendoza is absent. Trustee McLaughlin.
Yes.
Trustee Murphy.
Yes.
Trustee Navas-Barza.
Yes.
Trustee Preda.
Yes.
Motion carries to establish consent agenda.
Thank you. Can we get a motion then to approve the consent agenda as presented?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Item G, approval of an ordinance amending Chapter 16, Police, Article 4, Police Department, Section 16-58, Offices Within Department, created of the Municipal Code of the Village of Alsip, will now be known as Ordinance 2025-02-1. Roll call number 2 to approve consent agenda, trustee Dalzell.
Yes.
Trustee Juarez Mendoza is absent. Trustee McLaughlin.
Yes.
Trustee Murphy.
Yes.
Trustee Navas-Barza.
Yes.
Trustee Preda.
Yes.
Motion carries to approve consent agenda.
Very good, thank you. Did anybody have any unfinished business they want to talk about?
Just wondering, Mayor, if Maria's having any luck with her finance vacancy.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I couldn't hear you.
I was wondering if Maria is having any luck yet with the finance vacancy.
Actually, we had an internal candidate that responded, and she accepted that that particular application, and a job offer was made to that person today.
Oh, okay.
So HR is hoping to get a response by tomorrow.
Okay, great.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Did anybody have any new business? None? All right, can I get a motion then to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We'll adjourn this meeting at 7:50 PM. Thank you very much, and stay warm. It's supposed to get cold the next bunch of days.